Time's up. Let's do this.
Hello, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Babael, and with me today is ChubbyBunny. We are going to be your Dota 2 casters for today in the MSI Bidded Wildcard qualifier for Southeast Asia. So this is the RGN League, and so far we have 6 different teams qualified across the entire region. We have 2 more spots for today, in fact, this entire wildcard. And so far, just to keep you guys up to date, it's going to be a best of 1. And along the way, as we go along the way, we will have BO3 in the semifinals and BO3 for the grand finals as well, just for seeding purposes. So for today, we actually have FirstDeparture up against LetsGo. So ChubbyBunny, how are you doing, man?
Hi, great. I'm feeling great and very excited to watch the 2 teams play, especially First Departure. I'm a Miracle fanboy, I gotta confess to that. And this drafting phase, so actually I'm actually hoping that they won't ban out Miracle's Naga Siren, just so we can see it play.
Sure.
Like, so, Miracle, like, you know, he's actually, he's the most famous Naga Siren, made it very famous from the support role and transitioned into a carry. So yeah, you can say he's actually a genius in a way.
Showing all the fanboy qualities already, but we do see a Death Prophet and Lycan being banned out. Pretty simple stuff so far. And FirstDeparture going to be on Radiant side, LetsGo will be on Dire. And really, this is just interesting for me because I've never really watched FirstDeparture before. I do confess I've heard about Miracle a little bit, and I'm just here to see, you know, what kind of a level of gameplay they're going to bring here, because in this tournament we do have other very good teams like Mythras, and also we got Invasion here as well. So being a single elimination BO1, things are definitely going to get heated along the way, and we do see the follow-up ban. Pretty interesting to see that we have Viper being banned as well, but no ban on the Naga Siren yet. Or is it too early?
It's definitely not too early, because what most teams do when they play against FirstDeparture, the minute they say Miracle, the first ban is usually the Naga Siren, no doubt. Unless, you know, if you're comfortable and you're really confident, maybe like a team like VG, then maybe you're able to contest Miracle's Naga Siren. Because his Naga Siren is good, but it is not unbeatable. So in this case, you know, maybe Team LetsGo, they think they can counter that, so maybe that's why they're not banning the Naga Siren just yet.
Yeah, alright, so pretty exciting stuff along the way. And I guess today, you know, just being a random Tuesday, pretty important day for most of this team. FirstDeparture actually got a little bit of a good seed position, so LetsGo defeated their fellow opponent yesterday before going out to meet FirstDeparture today. But we have the Brewmaster being banned, and I really like that because Brewmaster is just such a strong utility-based kind of hero. You normally don't want to see him in just pure carry. I don't like Brewmaster being pure carry. I like the fact that he's got a lot of good utility base skills. Once you use the Primal Split, you got Stun, you got Whirlwind, you got Storm Spirit and stuff like that. So want to see how that's working out. Unfortunately, that's going to get denied, and I'm really excited as to what's the first pick. Oh, Bad Rider, this is actually pretty old school.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I wouldn't say he's really that old school. I mean, he's still quite legit, you know, he's still valid. Oh wait, Faceless Void, that's fast.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying that he's not valid, I'm just saying old school because it just reminds me of, in case you guys don't know about me, I don't really cast Dota 2 games, I don't really watch Dota 2 games, I have no idea what I'm doing here, but Bad Rider, my impressions of Bad Rider really was back in, I think about a year or 2 back, when we have past few TIs, and the meta back then was a lot more farmy. Right now it's very pushy, so Bad Rider is still very good, you know, with a very fast Blink Dagger, can still go in and effectively be the catch that he needs to be. And yeah, I'm just keen to see Faceless Void again. We're going to see some good team fights coming up from FirstDeparture.
And actually, Team LetsGo, the Bad Rider, looks like they're looking to gain the initiation. But the thing about the Bad Rider on the Dire side is he can actually flash on pretty fast, you know, just stacking up the camps with thanks to help the supports. And oh no, maybe this is going to be a Bad Rider. Yeah, it's going to be a Bad Rider off lane instead. But nonetheless, you know, Bad Rider on the Dire side, a bit tricky since... Yeah, but oh well, you know, he can easily steal sacks. Especially if stealing off the medium camps that the supports on the Radiant side trying to pull. So FirstDeparture, pick up the Shadow Shaman, sorry, and against a Tinker. So I'm not sure how this is gonna lane out actually.
Oh yeah, well, SS definitely good form of support, but Tinker, Bad Rider is the question for me as well. Normally you see Tinker in the mid lane, you see Bad Rider there as well, but with both of them in the same team, that is not going to be possible unless they're going to run a dual mid strat. And LetsGo, they know that they're up against seasoned professionals here, so they might just be throwing a bit of a wild card or probably just a Spada into this mixture, and hopefully it works out well for them. effectively, it's all gonna boil down to the carry. But so far, no Naga Siren ban just there. We do see Doom being banned, Omni Knight being banned, also Razor, and one last one. That's gonna be Tidehunter. Is this where you pick Naga Siren?
Maybe, but I think they're not picking it just yet. And meanwhile, actually, just to touch back on the point where you mentioned with the two mid heroes. Well, we're talking about Team Let's Go. They play on the dire side. Tinker can easily play on the off lane, where he can easily still stack ancients and still farm just as fast. And actually, that's what Tinker playing the off lane on the dire side actually works out even better for him. Ooh.
Oh, Jakiro. That's interesting.
Skywrath Mage.
Well, actually, his liquid fire, it's no mana cost and it's free, and of course the damage over time is actually really good for bursting towers. I mean, not say bursting, pushing towers down and chipping at HP pretty fast. So
Yep,
in a way,
with liquid fire.
yeah,
think-
FirstDeparture in a way they have quite a strong push.
Yeah, they're still sticking to the current strategy of pushing pretty well. Faceless Void definitely pretty good in terms of AoE. You want to see the big Macropyre with the Chronosphere. I think it deals a lot of damage inside, but Skywrath Mage, of course, might just turn things around for Dire. And in general, I think that, so far I'm not so familiar with drafts, but I'm gonna confess that, of course. And effectively, it looks to be that Radiant has got pretty good push potential. They've also got a bit of the, team fight synergy taken care of. They have also got the late game. And with Clockwork, that's pretty good. I really like Clockwork with Jakiro's synergy.
Yes, I do agree with that. And actually, FirstDeparture they play a really really good Clockwork, making a lot of plays of Dafa. So I think this is gonna be probably Dafa's Clockwork. But meanwhile, who plays the faces for it? I mean, that could be Miracle, but Miracle and in the safe lane, usually I'm quite used to seeing him play in the mid.
Alright, so we're going in for the last ban here. Void in the mid against Tinker or Bat Rider. Most probably it's gonna be Bat Rider, but Bat Rider against Void, I don't like that composition. I think that Bat Rider will have a slight lead, so FirstDeparture needs to be very careful in terms of the draft here. And going forward, the ban hero, what do you think is the missing component for Dire? They already have Wraith King. I think that's probably going to be support as well. Do you think they're going to go with one more carry?
Maybe not. I feel like maybe one more support wouldn't be that bad, especially if they have maybe an Earthshaker on their side, just keeping the fights, just keeping FirstDeparture separated out. So an Earthshaker pickup would actually be pretty good. And meanwhile, I mean, that final ban, yeah, I mean, like maybe a mid hero would actually help. Just banning out one more mid hero.
Yep. So we're gonna see the bans here. Rubik being banned out. Do they really see Rubik gonna go in and steal some skills there, and probably just pull thing around a little bit? And it's gonna be the DK ban. They do see FirstDeparture going with DK. I don't like DK, given the fact they've already got Void, like you mentioned before. It could be the hardcore carry here. And Miracle, like you said, he's going to be a little bit more mid-lane-ish than going to go down to safe lane. And I don't know, what do you think is really lacking here?
Like I said, like what I mentioned earlier on, is that they're missing out one mid hero. But then again, wow, okay, 3 supports. This is I don't know how this is gonna lane out at all. I'm not sure how FirstDeparture is gonna lane this at all.
Alright, but we have the Witch Doctor, which effectively just, again, a lot of good pushing strategy, good nuking, catching potential with this Melodic. And I think that Dire they are in a bit of interesting position, because this looks like it's the clear 4+1 strat from Radiant, where you have 4 people just going around and wrecking havoc. Clockwork, Jakiro. We're gonna see some big plays in terms of ganks from FirstDeparture, but Faceless Void probably just could be farming. And on the flip side, Dire, they don't really have a concrete strategy going in. Picking second gives them the advantage of knowing the full lineup first. But now, is it still possible for them to do something about it, is my question. They got Wraith King. Wraith King could be carry, all the way at the end of the day. Tinker needs the BOT. If he goes into the hard lane, might not really be good in a situation, because 4+1, you're going to see a lot of roam on Radiant side. Skywrath Mage effectively just going to be support here. Bat Rider needs also the Blink Dagger from mid lane, so I just don't really know what Dire needs right now. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Insight wise, I mean, I agree with you. Their lineup is kind of all over the place. You don't really have follow up, but there's the answer. It's picked up. The Bristleback. So this laning looks to be. I don't know. I mean, Bristleback can always be played as a carry as well. He doesn't necessarily have to be in the off lane. I mean, it's one of those off laning heroes which really requires a lot of farm. So looks like this could actually be a Tinker safe lane.
Yeah, it could be. It could be Tinker's safe lane, which is really interesting because that's going to be up to FirstDeparture to try and stop this Tinker, to try and go in, prevent the BOT from coming out too early, and that I think is pretty important for FirstDeparture's agenda. Kai is going to be playing as the Void and not Miracle. Miracle going to take the mid lane there as Jakiro, so we're going to see some good ganks from FirstDeparture. It's going to be up to the early game execution again. Bristleback, I think late game might just hack it. But really, you know, playing as a Bristleback in this game, the tank potential really kicks in the mid game if Bristleback gets good farm. If Bristleback doesn't have any farm at all, it really is not going to help the entire team.
That is true, but okay, so right now what I feel is that LetsGo, they do have the slightly better late game here, or rather they do have the better late game. But regarding the laning phase and the mid game, it actually goes the way of FirstDeparture because all these supports, they're not something to laugh at. Liquid Fire, Serpent Wards, and Witch Doctor just healing things up. And the Faceless Void doesn't really need items, he just has to show up. Chronospear, Death Ward, that'll guarantee you some awesome kills. And maybe even a Clockwork, just catching 2-3 heroes in the cogs and Death Ward comes out, boom, you get a lot of kills going the way of FirstDeparture.
Alright, so you have FirstDeparture here on Radiant. And I'm going to be introducing the players as well. We have Jakiro being played by Miracle, and Clockwork there going to be played by Dafa. We have Witch Doctor, and that's going to be played by Moon of My Life. And Shadow Shaman, effectively, going to be played by Lubby. Last but not least, the carry for this team is going to be FD Kai. And Kai here has got a lot of things to do in this game. Generally carrying this entire team, he needs to farm up 4+1 strat from FirstDeparture. And on Dire, we have Team LetsGo. Effectively, Skyroth Mage can be played by Zach VR. And it's interesting to see they don't even have a clan tag. But Bristleback going to be played by Pandikar. Rave King here going to be played by AXL. And a Tinker on Yabyu. I have no idea how you pronounce that, but Yabyu is the Tinker. And last but not least, Domination on the Bear. So do you know anything about Dire?
No, I've actually haven't heard of them, but I think we suspected that they're from Indonesia.
Ah, okay. That's interesting. So we're gonna start this game best of one again, guys. So no mercy whatsoever. This is just the way it's gonna be.
Alright, so actually, this is quite surprising. I mean, a Jakiro mid. The first team I've ever seen which actually played the Jakiro mid was actually an Indonesian team, Team NXL. One of the rising teams in Southeast Asia just coming out, and this Jakiro build, actually what a mid Jakiro usually would go for is that he wouldn't pump anything to that ice path. He's just gonna skill up Liquid Fire, Dual Breath, Quick Push, and of course get that tower gold, just putting a lot of pressure. What I feel right now is FirstDeparture, the lineup, it's all about putting pressure on the lanes, so that LetsGo just unable to contest, especially since the Tinker is all about late game.
Yeah, right. So late game Tinker. Effectively, it's going to be denying the boots of travel in the early game for me. And probably we're going to see that happen. It's all going to be up to whether FirstDeparture can gank them enough. And it seems like there's going to be a bit of a Radiant jungle rotation coming in. Skyroth Mage going to lead the fray here. And there are some members in this area coming in from FirstDeparture, but they are not going to defend their SWAT spot here. Lubby going to be here as the Witch Doctor, Shadow Shaman, in fact. And probably with Form Ward there, might just secure this lane, but it's the usual tri lane, except that it seems like LetsGo is gonna lane tri lane down south.
Yeah, so they're going for a very aggressive tri lane. You're going for, I mean, your Skyroth Mage and your Wraith King, so they're gonna try and get pickoffs. So that's what this ward here in the jungle is for. Just keep the lane safe, and at the same time, you know, they can see what the support's actually pulling from not round. Can they? Yep, they can actually see it if the creeps are being pulled up. So this will help them. This have a bit of fun, just wreck things up. So we actually might look at this tri-lane against tri-lane for some kills here.
Yep, and this is interesting because Void in the early game, he doesn't really have anything to provide in terms of early game team fight potential, and really just with time lapse, they're probably just gonna walk away, run away, and stuff like that. There's nothing much you can do. But same goes for Bristleback. Bristleback at least has got a slow, whereas for Void, I don't think he's got pretty much anything in his early game.
Well, I wouldn't really say that the Faceless Void is that useless. I mean, he just
Oh,
needs
no.
a good few lucky
That's not what I meant.
damage.
I mean that, you know, he doesn't have burst or utility, no stun, nothing in his early laning component. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what I meant to say was that, I mean, if he has a, you know, if he's lucky, RNGs is on his side and he gets a few nice time locks, good damage, secured kills, especially since there's a Scarab Mage here.
Oh yeah, that's very squishy. So I want to see some action happening, but before that, let's go back to the mid lane. So Yui here as the Tinker, gonna be up against Jakiro. Miracle having a slight harassment coming in from Tinker already. Meanwhile, top lane, we're gonna see the Bat Rider up against that of the Clockwork. So Dafa is gonna be here by himself, and effectively so far, you can see that the CS is not looking so good at all for FirstDeparture, but it's still way too early to tell. And probably want to see some kills coming from there. They do have the early game advantage in the fact that, you know, most of these heroes coming in from Radiant side have got some burst potential in the form of the Witch Doctor, in the form of the Shadow Shaman. So yeah, I like that.
Oh, and actually something I want to point out is that this Tinker, he's level 3, but he has only one skill point up in that laser. That's it.
They're probably gonna go for a little bit more stats build, is that right?
I think so. I mean, I have no idea. I think, hold on, he's got a Null Talisman. Okay, he's actually not choosing to skill anything up just yet.
Maybe just very situational. Probably afraid of ganks and stuff like that, and trying to set the pace of his game yet. We'll see, we'll see. But Miracle here, below 50% health. If a rotation from bottom lane happens, this might just be a kill, and it seems like they're gonna ping in that direction. The smoke ain't gonna happen. Wraith King is gonna come in here with Skyroth Mage. Miracle, a little bit of a trouble, but he doesn't know yet. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is gonna be first blood. Oh wait, no, he can actually walk up. Is he? Putting the bottle down. Oh, Miracle, you don't want to do that, Miracle. Here comes the smoke and the concussive shot.
Yep, stun goes down. Miracle, a lot of trouble right now. The Ice Breath is not gonna connect, and there goes the first blood. Yaburi as the Tinker is gonna get that.
Yikes! Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Man, this is again the fact that, you know, they don't really have ward coming up from FirstDeparture in this area, which is really harming the mid lane right now. But on the flip side, they at least made sure that Void's gonna get some space to farm in the absence of the Skyroth Mage and the Wraith King. They're not in this area right now, which is pretty good. Now they just rotated back and probably might just want to pick up a kill with the extra level on the Skyroth Mage. I think it's probably gonna be quite possible for that to happen.
Yep. Alright, and something we actually haven't touched on much is that this top lane, this Bat Rider is getting so much farm. I think he's close to like Tranquil Boots, or he's just going straight for his Blink Dagger.
I like how the Witch Doctor is like a mobile fountain right now for Void. Heals him up a lot, helps the lane sustain itself pretty well. And meanwhile, mid lane, lots of pings happening here. Miracle still in his area, and Tinker gonna try and race all the way to top rune. Is that gonna be spawning here? Yes, it is. It's the double damage. Miracle's gonna get that. Probably gonna land an Ice Puff and might just go in for the kill. No, Rocket's gonna miss. They're not gonna do that. So no fallout whatsoever. Just gonna pull back. And same goes for bottom lane, I think.
Yep. And oh wait, meanwhile top lane, Lobby's found Bat Rider.
Bat Rider, a little bit of trouble. There goes the Shekel. It's probably going to go down pretty well. Antsy going to come in, deal some extra damage as well. And Bat Rider now going to try and pull back, but Domination going to get nuked down by Rocket pretty well. Good execution there by FirstDeparture. They try and make back a little bit of extra catch-up action here. So that with the tomato sauce, they can still come back into this game. But LetsGo, you know, they need to make sure that the Bat Rider is safe. He is effectively a very crucial component in this lineup. They need to make sure he gets the Blink Dagger.
That is true. I mean, that was good, actually good game sense. They could not neglect that Bat Rider, because if the Bat Rider gets a fast Blink Dagger, things are gonna go down south FirstDeparture. And wow, middle lane.
Yep, mid lane, Miracle, a little bit of trouble. Here comes the pot in, and I think it's gonna be in time. Clockwork, not level 6 yet. I think he's not able to go on to this Dire team yet. Oh, but the laser is really gonna hurt, and Jakiro just goes down like that.
Oh, okay. So he's going for a damage build. He's not choosing to go for that March of the Machines build, which most Tinkers would usually go for. He's going just for plain nuke damage.
Top lane, there we go. The hack's gonna happen already, and the Clockwork probably gonna go in as well. And Domination gonna run into the trees there effectively. Might just save himself, buys the TP. Now gonna try and run away. Still running in the trees, but what happens is that the tree path completely cleared here. Rocket's gonna connect, But that's about it. Domination still running with extra movement speed. I think he's going to be fine. Lands a bit of a tar there, but will not get anything done. He's going to be safe here. At least that's good news for him.
Oh, and then that was so close. At the same time, I think that they kind of just overextended, and Dafa hesitated regarding the cogs. Because if he had cogs, they would have killed the Bat Rider.
Definitely. So we do see Jakiro going for a little bit more extra standard build in the Liquid Fire. And that really is just going to help him push the tower a little bit. And right now, again, we're going to see a little bit of a gank potential coming in from Dire Team. ZVR in this area. Might just go in. There we go. Scarab Mage going to try and make something happen. Might just pop something here. Rave King with the stun. Miracle might just go down for the third time. And there he goes. 3-4-1. All 3 kills, I think, on the Jakiro.
Actually, you're right. Miracle's 0-3.
Oh man, he needs some support from the rest of his team, but they're really obsessed with Kai right now, making sure that the Void gets the farm. And Void, does he get the farm? That's the question here. He has just about 2.3k net worth, which is not a lot. And if you look at that, it's really about the fact that Void is farming up well, but the rest of the team is just a little bit dissing with the mid lane. And if Jakiro is not able to get up some good items in the mid game, boy, that's going to be a lot of defense already taken care of in the early game.
I think they're not too concerned about that. It seems like they're pretty confident judging how they're playing, and I mean Miracle, he's doing pretty well. And that's actually a very nice lane ward, because he knows that if anybody tries to get a rotation, sneak up behind him, he's just going to be able to just walk up and get to safety. And now that Dafa's level 7 now, he has his hook shot, we're going to look at more initiation coming up from him.
Oh yeah, Jakiro dropping very low. Rocket from Yapuri is only a level 1, so that may not be enough. He needs the laser, it's going to be on cooldown. So unfortunately, Miracle is going to be okay for him for now. But here comes the gang again. And the entire Dire team, it seems like the focus here is to try and lock down Jakiro as much as possible. The mid lane tier 1 down to below 20% health already. Rave King in this vicinity, he's fallen to this for 3 times already. He should know there is no wards in this area. Once again.
He saw the smoke. I think he saw the smoke break.
Yeah, I think he saw the smoke break, you're right. So he's gonna pull back. There's also the Invis ward in this area, I think. Yeah, it's the blue ward's gonna be there. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Bristleback. How do you think Bristleback is doing so far?
Okay, his net worth is currently 2.8. I think he's doing pretty okay. He's not even that far.
Sorry, ChubbyBunny, hold that top lane. But a hook shot, the cock, and I think that Dafa is gonna be okay. So close. I thought he might actually fall because there was a gang coming in from Scarab Mage. Jakiro takes the mid lane tier 1, and please go back onto the Bristleback.
Oh, I mean, being the off lane, it's supposed to be the off lane, and it's the hard lane. He's actually doing pretty well.
Yep, and there might be a gank here.
Oh, here comes Lubby. Oh no, he hesitated.
Yeah, well, Lubby could have just put off the shackle shot right there. Or what's it called?
Rave King, this spot, Miracle. Concussive shot hits him.
Miracle, a little bit of trouble. Rave King goes in with the stun. There goes the silence from the Scarab Mage, and it's gonna be done again 4 times in a row. Miracle goes down. 1-4. LetsGo is really just focusing on Jakiro right now.
Yep, and I'm not sure that's gonna be worth it in the end, because he's actually pretty close to mech, I suppose. What's in the curry? Okay, no, he's not going for mech. There was tranquil boots, but still, I mean, yeah, I've actually watched the game before where Miracle was feeding of Shadow Fiend, but somehow in the late game, he was the deciding factor to actually winning that game.
I think it's okay with taking a bit of deaths right now. But the rest of his team needs to make sure that, you know, it's not compensated any other way. And we might just see a jump in. Kai goes in. Kurosa connects only on ZVR, and that's not going to be enough here. There goes the Macropire, the combo we talked about in the draw here. And Scarab Mage goes down. Bristleback locked out here by himself. No backup whatsoever from the rest of the team. Rave King gonna come in here just to make sure he secures a little bit of a perimeter, and the Bristleback gonna go in for a little bit extra burst, but he may not be enough to pick up any kill at all. He goes in, still gonna spam those spines there. Might not be enough. Kai gonna try and raid. There goes the Shackle, and Pendicar might just take the fall, but not before that, because Shadow Shaman gonna take the fall first. Rave King now gonna face off against Miracle. Miracle doesn't have enough mana. AXL gonna try and pull back, and here comes the TP from ZVR. Scarab Mage comes back effectively. The slow's gonna land as well. The Rocket coming in from the Tinker, and this may not be enough. Miracle now also gonna pull back. There goes the laser, and the Void goes down. AXL in a little bit of trouble. Dafa comes in. Clockwork doing a lot of work right now. Probably Yabioi gonna get frozen, and that's pretty big. Kai going for the last hit. Might just get it up by the Tinker. Oh my god, gonna be able to run away. No, it's not gonna happen. Last hit, still not gonna kill. Domination now gonna come in as well, putting out the fire path. but he is able to take off at least. So Lobby now in a bit of a trouble. Miracle gonna land the Frost and Fire Breath, but I think is not gonna do the work here, and that would be the end of the engagement, we think. But Pot still coming in. No one else is at anywhere in this entire map. Everyone is down south here in the bottom lane.
Wow, what an intense fight. I mean, we were just 4-1 and now it's 7-6. So yeah, a lot of blood being shed here.
You're right, a lot of blood indeed. Mid lane completely neglected. Top lane, no one cares. This is just 5v5, all bottom right now.
Just man mode on, just bring it on. Oh, Lubby's actually almost level 6. I'm not sure whether he's going for the arcane boots first or will he go for a blink dagger, but in this case I feel the blink dagger would do a lot more.
Oh, Wraith King with the stun. Lobby, a little bit of trouble. Bristleback gonna try and go in right there. It's pretty tanky. Wraith King gonna hold up the tower, but there goes the Shackle. AXL might go down. Here comes the entire team from FirstDeparture, and Wraith King is in a lot of trouble. Bristleback goes down as well, but not before they snag up the kill on the Shadow Shaman. And the second life from the Wraith King. He's gonna try and pull back AXL. Tower lands a bit of a hit. May not be enough. Dafa still wants to go in. And the last hit from Miracle and from Jakiro. It's gonna be the kill. A hook shot connects on Skyroth Mage. There goes the cock as well. And it seems like this is gonna be absolute slaughterfest. Skyroth Mage popping the ultimate, but not gonna get anything done.
Well, and so, I mean, we were talking about Miracle. He had just one Tramco boots and just one bottle, but now he actually has a mech up right now.
Pretty fast comeback here for Miracle. We were just talking about him going 0-4 in his early game, but right now joining up with the rest of his team, proving to be a force to be reckoned with here at the bottom lane. There goes the Macropire. I think it's not going to be enough. And the Bear Rider snagging Miracle all the way back. Chronosphere here is probably going to help him, but Miracle is saying no. He's going to want to take the fall first. Kai going to pull back, and the Ancient Seal on Kai right now. He pops the Chronosphere defensive mode, and they're all going to pull back. But that's about it. Still, we have LetsGo in chase mode right now. All 5 at the bottom lane. They really want to take this tier 1. Do you think that FirstDeparture can defend this position?
I feel that they still can, but okay, second thought, maybe not. Yeah, they don't have the Chronosphere, they can't do this. They need to just split, push a bit, get some farm, just put more pressures on the other lanes, and yeah. I mean, you need to look at the gold graph as well. It was actually going strongly in favor of LetsGo, and now FirstDeparture just trying to fight, cling back on. They're not going to give this up that easily.
Yeah, definitely not. So we have just about 400 gold lead for the entire team. And it seems like there is still remnants of Dire in the Radiant jungle. Domination gonna try and snag up as much farm in the NC as possible. But in this area is also Clockwork. It's gonna pop back. So that's pretty good. He already has got the Bling Dagger. I'd like to check. Does Tinker have the BOT?
Yeah, he does.
Already. So you see, man, this is what the early game can do for Dire. Snagging up kills in Jakiro, early BOT. Man, this is gonna be pretty hot fight for both sides. Yeah, we're in for a show.
Well, okay, I think we're calling this Bristleback. I'm not sure. I think maybe they're thinking about it. Are they? Oh, but the Bristleback senses the danger. He backs off.
Mid lane
Oh,
is a
maybe
little
not.
bit more scary right now. Oh, Bristleback, you're right. Still playing it cool. The Frost Breath not gonna connect there.
Oh, and they smoked up. They can actually find Dafa here. Mid lane. They're going for it. They're going for it. Yes!
Oh, but the Cock's not gonna save. Dafa is gonna get silenced and he goes down pretty easily. 4 versus 1, so unfair, but that's life for you guys. The bottom lane tier 1's gonna get addressed right now.
Just look at that. Just look at the Look at Fire. Is doing so much damage.
Yeah. Liquid Fire, man. And now the entire Dire team is just gonna rotate, but Shakira's gonna pot out of here. They're gonna go back to the top lane. And we have Kai in his vicinity as well. There is a pot coming in here. Tinker gonna just unleash the robot marchers. That's about it. I think it's just defensive maneuver.
Yep,
And a fake void behind, but Jakiro is real, and there goes the Ice Puff. It's not gonna connect. Chronosphere goes down. They want a Tinker. They might just find him here. There is no backup. The team is not gonna be in time.
Oh, they don't even have TPs. Look at the supports on LetsGo. They don't have TPs, so that's why there were no rotations coming in at all. But the Bristleback, maybe he's gonna try and get a bit of chip damage on his T1 at the bottom lane.
He definitely can get some damage on the T1, but I don't think he's gonna be able to knock it off completely. And all the way up here top lane, here's where the next engagement is going to be. No Chronosphere yet from Kai. It's going to be on cooldown for the next 90 seconds thereabouts. And T1 goes down effectively. The entire team is not there for Dire. Only 3 men. Definitely not enough to take this fight against Jakiro.
Yeah, I guess they're thinking about it. They may actually try to catch someone here. They do catch him.
Yep, they catch the Void. Kai, a lot of trouble. He time walks out of there. And there goes the Shekel and EXL. EXL still going to burn a little bit. And Scarf Mage is going to try and provide a little bit of defensive maneuver. But meanwhile, speaking about Scarf Mage, just going to take the fall. Jakiro there with all the fiery bursts. Laser shot from Tinker. Nice timely hacks coming in there from Lobby. And that might just save Miracle at the end of the day. Penakar in his area as well. EXL goes in. Finally, the stun from Rift King snacks up the kill. Lobby goes down, but at the same time, EXL takes the fall as well. But he's going to have a secondary life to come in here. Kai going to try and run away, but the rest of the team is in his vicinity. EXL without the ultimate up, it probably is going to mean that it's a pretty easy kill. There is no backup with the rest of his team. He's going to be left for dead here by himself. The Cog is going to bush him out. That's a bad Cog, but that's okay. Dafa's going to go in. EXL now is just going to land a stun. The rest of the team not gonna come, and Tinker gonna land a Robo Matches, and it's gonna deal a lot of damage. The silence on Dafa, it might just be enough. Dafa gonna get the skill coming in from Scarf Mage, and Scarf Mage still gonna harass a little bit extra slow here on Moon of My Life. But that engagement really went in favor for Dire. And there we go, the stun also can connect, and it seems like the Witch Doctor is gonna be left for dead. The pot's gonna come in. Miracle, just a few seconds shy. He comes in, not able to land the stun whatsoever, a little bit lost right now. Gonna go chase after ZVR. And ZVR is gonna ignore the haste rune here. That's pretty interesting to see. Tinker gonna try and go there, but will not get in time. The bottle haste will go to Miracle. They're gonna go back to mid lane.
I'm actually very interested now to see what Kai will go for, because he has 2,700 in the bank. 2008 now. So is this gonna be a Maelstrom? Is it gonna be an Egg Scepter?
Oh man, I really like Maelstrom. I really like it a lot. It helps him in the Chronosphere. It helps him in most farming potential, you know, as well. And also with the increased attack damage coming in already from Mask of Madness, I'm just expecting Kai to do well in this game.
That is true, and I mean this game, it's going back and forth, Your experience graph going strongly in favor of LetsGo. But this gold graph is still in favor of FirstDeparture, and that's because they have all this T1 tower gold.
Yeah, but who do you think has the slight advantage going into the mid game?
It's kind of tough to tell. I think they're still pretty even at the moment.
Oh, Liquid Fire doing some fun. Jakiro gonna pull back with a haste. No one is in this vicinity to snag up the kill. Scarf Mage here by himself. I think that the Mystic Flare is not gonna be enough. There's, you know, an absence of lockdown from the Dire team. And that could be why Scarf Mage may not be a pretty good pick in this area. Only Bat Rider might just help them in the burst from the Mystic Flare, but you know, there's just a lack of lockdown right now.
I agree with you strongly on that point. And oh wait, the smoke isn't broken yet. Oh, but they do spot the Tinker.
They might just snag up Tinker right here.
Oh,
Gonna rotate. Oh, it's gonna run away. It's gonna be fine. Oh, but Miracle gonna spot him out right now. Oh, the blink is just in time, and there goes the ref coming in. EXL is gonna get frozen in the ice puff. Dafa is in this area as well. The Cog needs to go down, but the silence already coming in from a Scarf Mage. Mystic Flare goes down. Dafa takes the fall. Domination now. They're gonna try and run away, but that's not gonna happen. There goes the Shock. Is gonna take the fall, and Tinker in this backup area, not able to do anything at all. The entire Radiant team. That's a pretty big victory for them. 1-for-1.
I wouldn't say it was a good victory because it was a smoke gank. The point was to just get it picked off, but at this point, it was a 1-for-1 trade. At the same time, just for that, he gets a free T1 tower. He even got the tower gold as well. So he's suddenly very rich. Is he? I think yeah, he's going for Sanjay and Yasha. He could actually go for Heaven's Halberd as well.
I think that's pretty fine here. Heaven's Halberd is pretty interesting, if you ask me. For this game, 20 minutes in, 13 is to 15. It seems like it's gonna be a pretty close game. Do not, guys, again, BO1, best of 1, which means that, you know, no mercy whatsoever. If you do lose this game, you're out of this wildcard. And FirstDeparture, they're looking to mount a comeback, and they need to make sure that they're one of 2 teams to qualify from this wildcard.
I mean, so currently, who are you favoring to win this game at the moment?
It's just way too early to tell. I think that Void had some good farm going on in the early game, but it's still not materializing yet. He's still slightly behind in terms of net worth. We're looking at Tinker at about 9k net worth, which is just really scary, and 7k on this Void. I just can't put my finger on anything yet right now. I think that it's going to be a really close game. What do you think?
I agree with you. It's definitely going to be a very close game, but I think it all boils down to the carries on both teams, because Kai, he's going for an egg scepter, so what they're looking to go for right now is actually pick all these fights. They want to fight no matter what. LetsGo, their lineup is more about maybe get a bit split push up.
Hold that thought, mid lane, Icy Path gonna connect, but that's a Bristol back.
Oh.
That's a Bristol bag. That's not. Yeah, that's very tanky. That's just one hell of a meat cake. Oh, ZVR! There we go. It's the push book. It's gonna push him all the way out here, and Miracle gonna get snacked up here by Domination, but it may not be enough. Miracle gonna try and put on the Meko Pyre. He might just go down. Mess up a wall gonna come down as well, and Pendicar a little bit of trouble. EXL gonna try and push himself out from the car, and now it seems like Scarf Mage is pretty fine, pretty okay. They're all in this vicinity. They're all safe and well. Rocket's gonna come in. Miracle takes the fall, 1-0, but Chronosphere gonna go in, and Tinker gonna get zoned out here. There is no one in his area to save him. It seems like he's gonna take the fall. Undisputed Kai, makes it 1-for-1.
Wow, okay, what a fight. I mean, yeah, so back to my point, faces Void. Void, he's one of those heroes who, despite being from far behind, don't let the net worth deceive you. He may be close to 1.5k behind the Tinker, but he can easily decimate both the Tinker and the Scarf Mage, and maybe even the Bat Rider once he's more farmed up, and especially now the Egg Scepter. So, I mean, it's only a level 2 ult, but still, it's only going to be like, 60-second cooldown. Yeah, so every minute, he's going to be able to fight, pick all these fights. So I do expect that in a way, he's going to, say, maybe flash around a bit faster in terms of hero kills. He's not going to get his goal from farming, he's going to get his goal from hero kills.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. I want to see those hero kills right now. And they're going to resume this game here. So who do you think has the lead, like you said before?
Okay, now that I see, looking at item progression, see the Egg Scepter. Yeah, I feel that FirstDeparture has a slight edge at the moment.
Okay, Cock's going to be used here, just to help them escape a little bit. Dafa's going to be okay. And yeah, so here, I think this is where it turns slow, right?
Not really. I mean, with the Egg Scepter pick up, he's not going for the Maelstrom, which means he's not expecting to farm. He's expecting more team fights. And actually, if you take a quick look at the map, actually the whole map for both teams, if you check both the teams' vision, they have no wards anywhere. Just sentry wards, that's it. There are no observer wards placed. So both teams are actually fighting blank.
Yeah, black map, best map. So we're gonna see 5-man rotate here to the top lane. Miracle is gonna defend this area by himself, gonna farm a little bit. The rest of Dire is gonna be walking in as well. I think Tinker probably gonna pop back here, and they might want to catch Miracle, but he's not gonna be found there.
So currently, okay, looks like this Wraith King, he's going for a Blade Mail. Skywrath, still stuck in Arcane Boots, but he's doing pretty okay. He's quite poor for support. But back to this Bristleback, he is so tanky. He's going for the S and Y with the mech, and 1600 HP, and if you're hitting on his back, he's gonna be so hard to kill.
You're right, you're right.
I mean, maybe his next item, he can actually go for a BKB, and he'll be pretty much unkillable.
Yeah, I think with mech as well, this BB is just really, really strong right now. They need to make sure that he's not the first to go down. Sorry, he's just not the first primary target, but one of the first few to go down, because you don't want him to survive too long with all those bursts. And there goes Domination with the jump on Kai. Kai's gonna run away, but here comes the Clockwork, and the Chronosphere gonna happen as well. AXL gonna be in this area, lockdown, might not have a bit of a backup in this area, and he still has the second life, so he's gonna be okay. Dafa is going to be locked in the power clock as well, and T1 goes down. Pendakar in his backup area. Miracle coming in a little bit too slow. The stun on Dafa is going to happen. The Ice Pop not going to deter the entire Dire team. They're all still going to go down. The Ancient Shield already up on Miracle, and Scarab Mage going to take the fall. That credit is definitely going to the Witch Doctor, and right now the Shackle is going to happen as well. Mess up on Ward. Wraith King going to take the fall. That's going to be his second life already. Pendakar is going to get 0 in, and that's because Kai is in his area. And let me think, I think that actually someone bought back, right? No.
Nobody bought back.
Nobody
but that was
bought
actually
back.
really good positioning. FirstDeparture, they kind of baited it out. They actually traded a T1 for such a good fight. A 3-for-1 trade and a T1. But at the same time, if you actually went back to the fight, they had very good positioning. look at the way. Okay, they knew that the Bat Rider was coming in, judging from all the 4 heroes grouping up. So what they did was they baited them closer to the T-tube, laid down the Serpent Wards, trapped someone in there, bait the team to come and save him, and at the same time the Death Ward was just a bit behind the Serpent Ward. So that was actually really good positioning coming up from FirstDeparture.
Yeah, I agree, man. I thought Kai was dead, but it seems like he was able to run away. You know, after the Chronosphere, he just disappeared for a short while and came back in again after a while, which really just helped the team survive the team fight. And towards the end, even stacked up a kill on the Bristleback. So right now, LetsGo is actually in a bit of a trouble. 17 to 17. The kills may not show it, but the towers do. It's all only tier 2s that are left here for
Actually, no,
LetsGo.
the mid T1 is still up.
Mid T1? I mean, for Dire.
Oh right, okay. And yeah, okay, back. I mean, just one more thing about the team fight was that the Chronosphere, it seemed bad, but at the same time, it actually saved his support because, you know, he stopped the whole team. That he just stopped the momentum of the fight. The point of LetsGo's lineup, it's all about that Bat Rider lasso.
You're right. The lasso is pretty important there. Miracle now, mid lane. Primary target. He's gonna come in. Lasso's gonna follow up as well. Chrono's gonna jump in, but no Chronosphere. There we go. It's gonna happen as well. And now Scaraf Mage by himself. ZVR might not go down. The entire team is not in his area. The Chronosphere is a little bit too early. Now Pendakar is gonna try and burst some spines there. Lobby now gonna try and run away. Kai still in runaway mode as well. He's got an instant seal on him. Time warp may not be possible for the next few seconds. There we go. It's gonna be up. But Lobby is just gonna sacrifice himself. The Shackle's gonna be used. That's gonna be it. And now Dire will have access to Roshan.
Oh, they can actually still contest this. Chronosphere is up in just another 25 seconds, but I'm not sure whether they can make it in time.
20 seconds. Without Jakiro, without Shadow Shaman, this is gonna be pretty exciting. He could be a steal, but may not make it in time. 10 seconds. Rocket's gonna be used here. And it seems like Roshan's still going to Dire.
Well, actually, back to the pickoff. Just good support play coming out here from Lobby, saving his carry and sacrificing himself.
You're right, pretty good play. Coming in from FirstDeparture, of course. Now LetsGo, they have the Aegis up. They have 5 men ready. Probably gonna go and push the mid lane. Mid lane tier 1 still standing for FD. So that's pretty troublesome. And I think that Dire is gonna definitely want to take this down first before they push on any of the other lanes. But again, you know, teams have been renowned to just try and knock on one lane, focus fire. Right now, just like to check in on Tinker. How does Tinker look like to you?
He's actually pretty well farmed up. 27 minutes in, a Bloodstone, Blink Dagger, bots. He's doing pretty good. And he's gonna get that Dagon up really, really soon. Just maybe in the next 2 minutes. Because that's a Tinker, you know, he's so mobile. But this Bloodstone looks like, yeah, he doesn't want to damage. He's gonna just depend on straight up for his heat-seeking missiles and his laser. So that's why he's chosen to go for the Bloodstone. And okay, looks like we might see a team fight here in the mid lane.
Yep. T1 push as expected. Icy Path gonna connect on Pendakar. And a mid lane tier 1 gonna happen. And Lasso not gonna connect, but there goes the Hex, and this is pretty big. Carlos gonna miss, but here comes the Chronosphere, only on Pendakar, as well as ZVR. He's gonna go for Scaraf Mage. That might not be enough. Tinker is in this area. Kai dropping really low, but here comes the support. The Death Ward's gonna be up. Pendakar tanking up for the entire team. AXL jumps in as well. He does have the second life, but he gets silenced. Effective, that means he's gonna die. Domination gonna pull up. Pendakar is still able to jump in here, still tanky and all. Miracle left for dead. May not be able to cut it back. ZVR gonna take the fall first, but Domination now gonna get Shekel in by Lobby. Lobby doing all the work. Miracle coming in. Icy Pop gonna happen as well. Domination gets zeroed in and goes down as well. We got Pendakar just going ham. No one's giving a shit about this Bristleback, and that's really hurting FD right now. Kaiser's gonna chase on the Tinker. Tinker without any hacks in his item. I think he's definitely gonna be able to run away. There goes the pot. He's gonna be able to run away, I think. Yep, he will be able to do that.
So overall, a 3-for-2 trade, including a buyback and the loss of the T1 tower. So that defense wasn't exactly a good defense.
I think it didn't make the mark.
That fight went pretty well. I mean, Kai maybe had a bit of questionable decision making there.
Yeah.
He could have killed off the Bristleback, but he chose to go for the Scaraf Mage, which is understandable, seeing as the Scaraf Mage is one of the most squishy hero. But the thing is, the Tinker is not just a bit behind. And that laser saved Scaraf's Mage. Because the laser, once used, the target will not be able to, you know, his attacks are just gonna miss 100%. So good play coming in from the Tinker, and yeah.
You're right. The clutch laser coming in from the Tinker on the Faceless Void really helped a lot. 30 minutes gonna be up 28-21. Let's Go putting up a really good fight against FirstDeparture.
And at the same time, I mean, you know, maybe it looks like FirstDeparture dead. I'm not sure what item Kai could go for now, which could actually make a huge impact. But at this point, maybe something just textbook. Just go for the Maelstrom, your most cost-efficient damage item.
Yeah, definitely good. So here comes Jakiro, gonna fly into the mid lane. Tinker gonna be in his area as well. He's gonna cancel the TP. And the lane's goal definitely going to Jakiro, but Tinker is just so mobile at this point in time, just farming as much as possible. I think this game is really going to reach its peak when Tinker picks up the Hex.
Oh, he's not going to go for the Hex, he's going to go for an E-Blade, because FirstDeparture, they have such squishy supports. Look at the Shadow Shaman, just look at the Witch Doctor, look at how squishy they are.
You're right. So E-Blade is even more devastating. I think it's definitely going to kill out the SS as well as the Witch Doctor. So here comes the smoke gang. Here we go.
Trying to get a pick off.
Yep.
Oh, they're not gonna catch anybody. This is gonna be a waste of time.
And goal.
Yeah,
No
this is
one's
gonna
in this
set them
area.
back. Yeah, this is gonna set them back way further behind.
You're right. So now Dire is just farming the Ancient, and they're currently 4-4 unfound. That's because they don't have wards in this area, and only sentries, like you mentioned. Now only one ward of sight here, observer ward coming in from the Radiant team. But it's pretty interesting to see that LetsGo is opting to take this fight a little bit late game. Do you think LetsGo chances in the late game are pretty even as compared to FD?
Yes, I do agree. I mean, I feel that it's still even, but it all comes down to execution and who slips up, especially in the late game. Because the late game, everyone knows that, you know, even if you're 6 slotted, it's going to come down to who screws up first. And at this point, you know, Faces what he's getting pretty scary. He's 10k net worth, but at the same time, Tinker is also getting scary. So all you need to do is just bring it down, and I think that pretty much secures it.
Alright, so might see a tier 2 bottom lane 5-man team fight happen here. Jakiro not in this area yet. I think he's got TP, yes he has. Tier 2 gonna get challenged. AXL knocking on Tier 2 here by himself, the Rape King. There goes the Marches, the Robot March. Not gonna really connect on the tower, but there goes the pod. Lasso might just catch Miracle. Needs to be careful. They wanna go in. They know that the Bad Rider is in his area. Ice Pump gonna connect, and it seems like Kai's gonna jump in. There goes the BKB. Chronosphere is out for use, but the Ancient still gonna connect, and Kai takes the fall. What a big loss it is for FD right now. Pentakari gonna come in here. Effectively, Lobby is gonna get zeroed in as well. Kog is not gonna be of a huge deal. Dafar's trying to do his very best, but Pentakari is just too much to deal with right now. The Kog's gonna land a huge stun. The Clockwork is gonna land a huge stun. What am I saying? Dafa now in a little bit of trouble. There goes the Babael. May not be enough. Dafa gonna get locked down. EXL gonna pick up that. And Pendakar is the one getting the gold. So tier 2 is pretty easy for them right now. And FD, man, that's all because of the Ancient Seal that is going through to the BKB.
Oh, there is no BKB. Actually, the Ancient Seal kind of screwed them over, especially on the Faceless Void.
Oh yeah, that's not BKB. My bad. I thought that I thought that the Faceless had the BKB.
Oh no, he went for, you know, it's just an MOM, a Crix.
Hello, are you there? I think you just muted your mic or something. Cannot hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, hold on. Do you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, you're back. That's good.
Yep. Alright.
So you're right. My bad. I thought he went shiny. Could be the fact that I didn't really see the effect well. But the Ancient Seal really just screwed up the entire gameplay. There's a big plays coming from the Scaraf Mage.
Yep, he was trying for the clutch plays. He wanted to wait, because when they went on the Bad Rider, most of his team, the whole team was moving in, but he hesitated a bit too long, just 1 second too long.
Alright, interesting. So Miracle now gonna pull the camp. And FD slightly behind. They just lost the 5v5 bottom. Might not look so good for them right now. Tournament life on the line.
Not necessarily. I think first departure. This is kind of them experimenting with lineups again. I mean, the reason, like for example, in the drafting phase when Let's Go banned out an Omni Knight, that was because first departure they stopped playing Naga Siren so much, and they actually played the Omni Knight in one of the previous games. So yeah, I think this is them just experimenting again.
Yeah, but as long as it's just an experiment, as long as they get this game, I think it's still good. And we'll see. But this entire team here from Let's Go looking pretty strong. They're playing pretty solid. You know, pretty clutch plays coming in from the Skyroth Mage. The ZVR doing a lot of work here.
And Let's Go, they're actually commanding this very well. The net worth chart, the top 3 are all heroes from Let's Go.
You're right. Tinker is just really snowballing out of control. I think he's already got an E-Blade. Is that right? No, just the Force Staff. And just some... Oh, sorry, that's the Scarf Mage. Where is the Tinker? Yeah, hold that thought. Seems like Dafa's gonna get caught out here. The Chronosphere now gonna be used pretty just in time. EXL dropping really low, but the Void is gonna go down first. And EXL now by himself gonna try and knock on that. The Penakar. BKB's up this time for real. And Miracle, a little bit of trouble. He gets slowed, but that's gonna be okay. He's gonna be a runaway with the Force Staff. EXL's gonna come back. And they're all just gonna knock on the tier 2. Tier 2 goes down, and FD, man, tournament live on the line.
I think this is pretty much GG because they don't have buybacks. None of them have buybacks. This is gonna be a free lane of racks for Let's Go.
Yeah, and back to Tinker, he does have Dagon, Bloodstone, and no E-Blade, no, hacks, going full damage. He's just really dealing all the burst that he needs to be dealt. Miracle now gonna get stunned, gonna get silenced. Mystic Flare missing by entire Maul. But doesn't matter. Let's Go gonna knock on the Millibarracks right now, and FD gonna go in, and there goes the lasso. Miracle cannot afford to take the fall here, but that goes to Silence. It's gonna go down pretty easily, and the entire team still gonna knock on that Range Barracks right now. There's no buyback whatsoever from Jakiro, from Void, and 3 man not able to hold the front here. Pretty devastating. The mid lane is down, but game is still not over. FD can still come back.
Okay, I really want to believe that they can come back, but the thing is, the Tinker is twice the net worth of the Void. And the Void, he can't really do all the DPS, especially against the Bristleback. At this point, the Bristleback is already playing the carry role. Like I mentioned, when he went for the BKB, he is so tanky and so hard to kill. FD's damage is all coming from magic damage, and now he's magic immune. And he is really tanky. In fact, who can you go on? The Bat Rat is decently tanky. Tinker is so hard to kill, he's so mobile. Wraith King is tanky, he has 2 lives. Bristleback is so tanky, the only target you have is a Scarf Mage, and he's always at the back of the lines. So I'm not sure how First Departure can actually come back from this.
I just feel that, Dota is a game where you can always farm up and just, as long as you try and minimize your losses, as long as you try and keep your team alive, and if the opponents just drag too long, probably you can still come back. That's why I don't want to put my finger on the fact that just not gonna give them the death sentence yet. These guys are still alive, but FD, man, they definitely need to clean up their act. That's a lot of mistakes there. Kai going in, the rest of the team is not even in place. We want to see the Macro Pyre coming in with the Chronosphere, but that's not happening yet. We want to see the Death Ward. There's so much synergy with the Chronosphere, but all along you don't see that teamwork coming in play yet. Macro Pyre not up, Messapon Wards AFK. Completely fall not found in Chronosphere moments, and I don't know, man, maybe this is just me trying to paint the perfect scenario for FD, but do you think that they can still come back in this game? I think that you're right, and that focus double. Maybe in terms of percentage, let's put a number on that. What's the chances for FD to win this game right now?
Maybe 5%, because they would...
Holy cow, you sure? 5%?
Yes, they're gonna need the perfect team fight just to come back from this. Because they are so far behind. This gold graph is at 20,000.
Let me check gold graph. Oh, you're right. Let's check in with the bank. Huge credit here. FD looking really bad. And Let's Go. Let's Go is just really ready to go on to tomorrow. And now all of them gonna push the bottom lane here.
And now the Bristleback has the Aegis, and he's already so tanky with an AC, Mac SNY, BKB. You can kill him once, but I don't think FD has what it takes to kill him twice.
And I think in most team fights, they're really just ignoring the Bristleback. In most team fight, they want to get Skyroth Mage so much that they really ignore the fact that this guy is just tanky as hell. And with all the Spine Burst coming in, the Quill Spray, in fact, that's going to deal a lot of damage onto the entire team. It's all just going to add up bit by bit, like interest, compound interest here. LetsGo is just behaving like a bank right now. Dafa is in a little bit of trouble. There goes the Chronosphere, but again, no team up, no backup whatsoever. McApie gonna land, but no damage. Those are tanks that are caught in the Chronosphere. May not be enough. Domination, one-man BKB, really enough to push the entire team back. Witch Doctor goes down. And there goes the fort. It seems like Pentecost is going to come back. He does go down eventually. The Mass Upper Ward really just going to provide to be a bit of a burst here for the entire Radiant team, but it may not go the way that they want it to go. Darfar is going to be in this area as well. Pops out the bottom armor, but no one cares about him. He's just going to take the fall there. And Shadow Shaman also going to go down. It seems like AXL by himself might just be in a bit of trouble, but he's just going to be bait here. Meanwhile, Tinker's going to take down Miracle. Miracle takes the fall. And Tinker is just running all in circles, just waiting for the skills to recharge, come back, and pick up a kill again. He's got Dagon. He's got all the bursts he needs right now. And LetsGo really disrespecting FD. They don't even care about Rexus. They are just going in and completely confining all 5 men in the fountain. This is it for FD. Best of 1. It seems like they are done. They are done. Wow.
I did not expect that to happen.
Big game from LetsGo. Very well done. FD, unfortunately for them, just mistakes after mistakes. Macropire not really working out there with the Chronosphere from Faceless Void, and in fact you have that big, mistake in the early game where you have the Void just jumping in and the Ancient Seal from ZVR just proving too much for Void to handle. So a bit of a last minute analysis or whatsoever coming to this game. What do you think, ChubbyBunny, that FD could have done better?
Okay, I felt that on paper, in theory, they have a really great lineup for team fights, but there was just no synergy, and the laning phase just did not go well for FirstDeparture at all. And credit to LetsGo. I mean, they pulled it off. Their lineup was greedy, and they punched FD for it. FD did not put enough pressure on them, and yeah, so really well played by LetsGo.
So unfortunately for FD, they are done in this tournament. And we're gonna go on with the next game. Before that, we're gonna take a bit of a break and see you guys in the short wall. This is Babael with me, ChubbyBunny. We hope you guys enjoy our casting, of course. I'm very new, and he's just helping me along the way. So huge props to ChubbyBunny, please. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Stay tuned.